So we need to break down the thing that happened on Twitter. That was the most amazing thing that ever
Yeah,
happened to Karlee in their
this is
entire life.
no. I'm married. I have children.
No,
Don't
I mean
say
on
that.
Twitter, on Twitter,
This
on
is the
Twitter.
best thing that's ever happened to me on Twitter
Hmm.
by far.
Hmm.
So, if you're listening to this, you may or may not know if you interact with Twitter at all. But Jared comes online occasionally, and you'll know he's online because your timeline will be full of people tagging him. Or people freaking out because he's like liked something or answered something or said something.
Hmm.
But because of the nature of um the earth, I guess, um, I don't know what time Austin is on, but it ain't on GMT. I don't. Is it Mountain Time or is it Eastern?
I think it's Central, but I could be
What is
wrong.
that? Is
I
that
think
Mountain?
it's Central Standard. I don't know. Let me look. I
Ah, what?
feel like I don't feel like it's, maybe it is Mountain. Hold on. Austin.
It's Central. It's Central.
Yeah. So it's like 2 hours behind me, I think.
No, it's 1 hour behind
One
you.
hour.
It's 1 hour. So
Okay.
Sandra is Eastern time. I'm obviously GMT because my country fits in one fucking time zone. Like I just divide it up. Just be like, I you have so many. You have too many time zones. You have
Yeah,
like
mountain is two, I think, and then Pacific is three. I think that's how it works itself out. Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
four whole time zones in one country.
It's not my fault. I didn't make that decision.
I know it's not your fault. I know it's not your fault. But yeah, so
Not everything that happens in America is my fault, Karlee.
literally nothing that happens in America is your fault. You have no influence or control. But it's fine. So obviously, due to the nature of that, I am very rarely online at the same time as Jared is. And I will just find out the next morning. I'll go look at his Twitter. I'll be like saying hi to Sandra and saying hi to Dee and stuff and just scrolling. I have a nice Twitter balance of like horrible news, a little bit of
Oh
politics
God.
because you got to know what's happening, and then a little bit of politics because again you got to know what's happening. A lot of supernatural stuff, a metric fuck ton of cats to balance out the news and politics. But I'll find out the next morning. I'll have like my timeline full of people like tagging him. I'll like retweeting stuff from him, and I'll be like, "Oh, Jared was online at like 3 a.m. UK time, whatever." But it just so happened that on it was the 5th. Was it the 5th? I feel like it was the 5th.
We need to know the exact day and time that this happened. So
Okay,
we are so
let me.
prepared. Let's figure that out.
Well,
Uh,
I only had the tweet open, which I took
I'm
a
looking
screenshot
at,
of.
because it was on our thread that it first came out, right? The group thread. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the group thread. I will scroll back through my profile. Just give me a second. Because it's a pinned tweet and everything. Yeah, so it was on the 5th of December, which was at time of recording this, it is the 11th of December. You probably won't hear this until 2023, but that's irrelevant. So it's the 5th of December. And it's about 9:15 in the evening. And I can see people tagging Jared as I'm actively on Twitter. And I can see people tagging him and he's responding to some of them. So I was like, fuck it. This never happens. Okay. Fuck it. So I tweet and I'll read the tweet because probably most of you don't it's on the Impala account, of course, but still. So I was just like, apparently, Japan is online and replying to people. So I'm tossing this out in case he sees it. Thank you for Sam Winchester. Thank you for always fighting. Thank you for reminding me I am enough, even when I don't believe it. Love heart. I owe you my life. The words aren't enough. Love heart. So I should probably pause at this point and just be like, I have come to peace with the fact that living in the UK, and it's so long after Supernatural's ended now, that they're probably. I know Jensen is coming over, has come over. I feel like I would know if he had come over already. But I know Jensen and Daniil are coming to the UK for Crossroads 6. But a Supernatural convention is never going to come to the UK again. And I don't know what Jensen and Daniil are coming over here for, because it's a bit out of the ordinary. But I have made my peace with the fact that unless I travel to Italy for Jib or I go to the USA, I'm not going to be at a convention with these guys, and I don't have the funds and the spare time, and I have a family and everything like that. It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But
and
never
I've
say
like
never.
never say never. Sandra's doing her best. She's doing her best. But I've come to peace with that now, and I've said this to Sandra lots of times. Like I wouldn't go to a con for like photos or autograph or anything. What I would want from a con is not something you can get from a con, which is just 5 minutes. That's all
Mm-hmm.
I want, just 5 minutes to talk to them. And
Yeah.
I just like those 5 minutes, I just want to say thank you because Supernatural it's taken over my fucking life in a huge way. And I'm like, I don't, if something awful happens to somebody else, somebody comes out as like a bigot or something horrible happens, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have time or energy to find a new thing. This is my thing
Mm,
now, forever.
yeah.
This is it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be able to say to his face, I identify so much with Sam Winchester and it's not a happy story, but thank you so much for loving him as much as I do and bringing him to life. And thank you for all the championing of mental health things that you do, because there's been more than one day where just thinking about, some of those phrases that he's put out there, like always keep fighting, you are enough, love yourself first, have kept me alive sometimes. And I
Mm-hmm.
just want to say thank you for that. And that's all I want. And you can't get that experience from the con. And unfortunately, I know he comes to Europe. He doesn't come to my part of Europe, does he? No, he goes prancing around in Italy. His wife, Rue. So I'm like, it's not like I live in Austin and I'm going to bump into him at Target and be like, oh my God, Jared, just
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes, you know? So I was just like, I'll just put this out into the universe. And if he sees it, great. And if he doesn't, nothing, nothing lost. I've tagged him in tweets before and got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he was actively online. So I was like, maybe. And then at about 22 minutes past 9, I put the tweet out into the universe, gets a notification, clicks on my notification. Jared Padalecki has liked your tweet. And then I died. And then I died. I genuinely had like a out of body experience. And I just like grabbed hold of my husband because I was on my laptop. So he could see it as well. And I just like grabbed hold of him and he was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And I was like, holy fuck. And I just stared at the notification screen for a little while. And I was like, I'm scared to refresh it in case he's replied. And then I will actually have a cardiac arrest right here.
Aw.
And you'll have to phone an ambulance.
Aw.
And he didn't reply. He didn't reply to my tweet. But when I've looked, those kind of like thank you tweets tend not to get a reply. He tends to reply to people being like funny or people being like, oh, why is Jared never online when I'm online and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He tends to engage more with like the funny kind of thing. But I was just like, oh my God, he's seen it. Holy fuck.
Aww.
And it's genuinely like the best thing that's ever happened to me on Twitter.
Well, I think too, probably because of the fact that, I think that those really like hit him, in the heart, right? So it's like, what can you say to that but just, just liking it? You know what I mean? So it's like I think those mean so much to him, on that level too. And it's just like words maybe aren't enough for him, in that regard when it comes to that. So I mean, I think we've seen it too, like how choked up he gets, in certain scenarios when somebody is just thanking him for whatever, for something that's going on, or, they always keep fighting. Or so I tend to think you got him all up in the fields, and he was just like, yeah, just liked it. Just like
yeah.
Karlee Karma.
I will say, because my brain is insane, I spent about a good 48 hours then feeling incredibly guilty. Because I was like, I was at the character limit for the tweet. I couldn't add anything else. And I was like, that's so much to put on another person. I have offered him no explanation and I'd be like, you're responsible for my life. And I felt really guilty about that because I couldn't explain myself. If I tweeted him again, There's no,
Mm-hmm.
there's no guarantee you're going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if somebody came up to me and was like, hi, you're the reason I'm alive some days, I would not handle that well, I don't think. And I did feel really guilty and I felt like I owed him an explanation. And then I was like, no, do you know what? I don't think he will take the weight of what I've said on his shoulders. I think
No.
he's probably over that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
just want him to
it
take my
means a
thanks.
lot to him. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want like because I know he has mental health issues as well. And I was like, I don't want him to feel like he has to carry the weight of
Mm.
somebody's life, even a stranger's life. But
Mm-hmm.
then I was like, he's had people saying this to him for a lot of years now. He probably knows how to
Yeah.
take the thank you, but not the weight behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it just for that moment he just, hopefully like just takes it in, appreciates the sentiment and how you feel, about that and just not put it
Hmm.
on himself. I think that's important. I think as we're all trying to figure out our mental state, it's like not taking a lot on of someone else, but understanding that you can be there to support them. You don't even have to be there physically all the time. It's just, it's a word, it's a model of behavior, it's a how you function. So yeah, I'm
Hmm.
sure, but I still think that, those all mean probably so very much to him. Um
I hope so. Yeah.
yeah.
I saw quite a few people tweeting him similar things and him liking them,
Mhm.
in much the same way. And I think the reason he probably doesn't engage with them, like you say, because what can you say? But also that would get so heavy so fast.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
so many people that, like me, hold up Supernatural, as something really crucial into their
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
And I know me and you have talked about my sort of identifying and parallels with Sam. And I'm like, it's not a happy story,
Mhm.
but I feel seen
Yeah.
in some
Yeah.
ways. But it's just I know now. I'd made my peace with never getting to meet him and never getting to tell him these things in person. But I know that he knows now. I know that he's
Mhm.
seen this and he's heard my thank you, which is all I ever wanted to give him. You know,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
didn't, there's nothing he can give me that he hasn't already given me. And yeah, being able to take a photo with him would be great. And I don't need an autograph because I've already got one. Thanks, Sandra. I can have another piece of paper that he's signed, but it's honestly, it genuinely wouldn't have the same meaning anyway
Mm.
because my autograph was a gift.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't mean the same. But I know that he heard me for that, 10 seconds or whatever. He listened to me and what I wanted to tell him, and he heard
Mhm.
it, and I can be happy with that.
Yeah.
And if I never ever get another chance to interact with him, that's okay. And it was
Aw.
incredibly fucking cool.
I can only
Genuinely so
imagine
cool.
the look, the feeling that you were going through because
I
I know what that feels like to even if it's just a moment in their life, it
so
means
much more to
more to
you.
you. And
Yeah.
that's really special. And I'm so happy that you got that because you
Oh,
deserve
thank you.
that. So
Thank you.
that's lovely. It's a lovely
It's
thing.
just I was like, I genuinely like fully vision whited out of body experience, like, oh my fucking god.
And
And I
then
want to say,
then you could go all the way off and be like, well, maybe he looked at my profile and maybe somehow he got into idling in the Impala.
now why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me? I just told you I'm not in a position to go to cons. You're like, what if he saw? And then your horrible apology timeline happened.
Because
Darren,
I'm
I know
trying
you're
to
listening.
tulpa you to have to come to a convention.
No, you come to the UK. They'll
Uh,
never be here, but you
yeah.
come.
Well, we can
Oh
we
my
can we
god.
can try that too. I still think they might, even if it's just for something else. I still say Jared might go over there. There still be a
Yeah.
possibility.
I'm very, very, very curious why Jensen would come over here. Because if he wanted to take his kids on holiday to the UK, I don't know why he would. They have a house in Austin and a house in Colorado. And I'm sorry, Why would you want to come here? It rains all the time. It's cold all the time, but there's no snow. You will not have a good time.
Who
Why would
else?
you come to the UK?
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously it's either something with the Winchesters or it's something about Chaos Machine, right? Because Danielle's going to be there too.
Mm.
So it has to be something. What?
Unless they're producing something else that they're going to film in the UK.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, we just don't know, right? Like, it could be something related to whatever their business stuff is going on behind the scenes, production wise, maybe. And maybe they're finding a way to fit that in. Or maybe they're really like crossing fingers that the Winchesters is going to be a thing that gets picked up. Um, and they're going to try
Mm-hmm.
to do, promotion that way. It's kind of at a weird time. I think it's going to be so if all things work out and I go to the New Orleans convention, I believe that's literally like the weekend after the
Mm.
New Orleans convention. So he's going to be what else is new? He's going to be busy and he's going to be busy traveling, but he's going to, have Daniil. I'm assuming Daniil with him then the family with him for a while because if he's in New Orleans, um, they have a house in New Orleans too, right? I think they were talking about
I
that
think they have
too.
somewhere in New Orleans because
Yeah.
they film the Winchesters in New Orleans, don't they?
Yeah. I think they filmed, I don't know if they filmed all of it or if they filmed part of it. I can't remember. Maybe it is all filmed in New Orleans. I can't remember now. Um, but I know the pilot was, but yeah, maybe it is. It is filmed in New Orleans. So that'd be interesting, to see like what it's about. But
Mm.
it's gotta be something production wise. It just has to be if they're both
Mm-hmm.
gonna be there. So maybe we'll know something in January for March. Maybe they're working on stuff and they're like laying the groundwork for that.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't see why at some point I still think, knocking on wood, crossing fingers, that if there is a supernatural, 2.0 or whatever, that would be a reason for them to, be back overseas and in the UK. In particular, not just Italy. I mean, we know Italy's great and all, but come on, show some love in some other spots
That
too.
would be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't see. I mean, Walker isn't even. It's 3 seasons in, and I don't think it's aired over here yet.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me see. UK TV, and it's not on Netflix or anything. So,
Yeah, I think I've seen it on like when the season was done, I think I've seen it on like HBO Max or something. I
mhm.
don't know if they
I
have.
think it's all still on CW though, isn't it?
It should
That's gonna
be.
be it's gonna
Yeah,
be a problem if it isn't.
it should be.
Uh, uh,
I don't see why not. They have all their stuff on there, right?
it's on the CW. And this was from 2021, so I know that it's a good while out of date now. But that's saying it hasn't found a broadcaster in the UK yet.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me see if there's anything else. But no, and that's like, like 3 seasons in and it hasn't come over here. He's got no reason to come over here. Nope.
Mm,
Still nothing.
okay.
Still nothing. It's got like UK premiere dates, nothing.
Hmm.
And it's telling me that it's going to come back on January the 12th on the CW. So that's fine. Like I can watch it on the
Hmm.
CW,
Hmm.
but I just there would be no point in Jared coming over here to promote Walker or Walker Independence when I can't watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, he lives in Austin. It's warm. Why would he again? I don't think I can express to you like how little my country has to offer you.
Aw.
Unless you were coming for the culture, which we do have some of a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like, or if you were gonna like take the kids, like for Jared and Jensen, if you were gonna like take the kids around like like on a European holiday or something, you'd
Hmm.
maybe stop off for a couple of days.
Hmm.
But if you didn't have a reason to come here and you lived in fucking Austin, probably wouldn't.
I
Just
guess we'll see. We'll
yeah.
see what happens.
If it happens, I will bankrupt myself. I will bankrupt myself to go on and be like, you liked my tweet, and make a complete show of myself. But it was genuinely so amazing, and yeah, just everything. Like I said, everything I would want couldn't get from a con, and just knowing that for like 10 seconds out of his life, he knew who I was and heard what I wanted to tell him was freaking awesome. It was awesome. It's not quite as cool as your fangirl moment, Jensen, but I will take it anyway.
I will. I'm looking at my Eat Pie Kill Demon sign right now, and I still to this day I'm not going to clean it because I just don't know if one of those fingerprints might be Jensen.
Oh, does it have fingerprints on it as well?
It's got fingerprints on it, and I'm like, not that my husband would ever bother to clean it, but I just made a point of saying, do not ever take Windex.
Don't touch that.
Because I don't know at this point. I could have some of his DNA there.
See, now fingerprints. Fingerprints sounds nice, doesn't it? DNA has much more sinister bent to it. Oh, I have this thing. I think it's got Jensen's fingerprints on it. That's nice.
As soon as I said it, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, this is not good. I should not have said it that way, but I did. I did.
When you sent me my Jared autograph, I didn't have a frame for it at the time, and it lived inside like all the packaging you put in it. And it lived inside all of that, and then it lived inside the FedEx box. And I was like, nobody touches the FedEx box until I get a frame. Do not touch. And I like put it up away from the kids. And I was like very clear with my husband. I was like, that needs to stay in there until I have somewhere safe to put it where no one can fuck it up. Don't mess with the FedEx box. And it was you don't really get FedEx boxes over here. So it wasn't like, don't mess with the Amazon box, which Amazon box? There was only one. I was like, nobody touches this. I'm ordering a frame now. Leave it alone.
I think we've said, let me see past cons. I feel like I made a copy. I scanned a copy of it. And he actually.
But that's the one he touched.
No. But I'm saying I can't find it now. Where he signed in a blank space. And I feel like Jensen didn't, like, again, Jared understands direction, I think, a little bit better when it comes to
yeah, I think Jensen signed over the picture.
Yeah. Where there was enough white space that, Jared signed
deliberately
down the bottom.
Left there.
Yeah.
White space. Just as a big sign here, please.
Yeah, it's like, okay. But yeah. Yeah, I have it somewhere. I know I scanned it because I was like, I just want to keep a copy of it. Just so I can look at it. But I don't remember. I don't know where I put it. Big surprise.
Oh no, if only you had some kind of folder system, you would know where it was.
I have too much shit. It's not helping.
Get a system.
I do have a system, Karlee, but it's too much shit.
Okay, you're literally going, I don't know where I put it. Whereas I would have a folder that was like,
I have too much stuff everywhere in different places. Like, it's probably in my Google Drive now that I'm thinking about it, and not on my computer. So now I have to go through and find it. But I'll find it. That's probably where it is. Ugh.
While I'm thinking about it, did you enjoy my labeling system for the sound stuff that you wanted? I was like, I'm going for the chapter name and the song title.
Yeah.
And everything. So you knew where it all lined up with.
Yeah. Karlee, I will bow down to you. You are the admin mortal.
I love admin. I love admin. Makes me so happy. If someone would pay me to just organize the hard drives, I'd be so happy.
Well, hopefully, if I make it big, then that can be your job.
You'll hire me to keep all your shit in order.
Help me get all my shit in order. Yeah, but no, I'm glad you had that. You had that moment. That's special. That's good.
It was very, very cool.
That's good.
It was very cool. And I wanted to talk about it, and all the episodes were all done for the rest of the year. Like, no, shoehorn this one in, make it the first bit of the January episode.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll put it in because, like I said, even if it's not they might not even, who knows, it might not even be an outtake, it could just be this, you know what I mean, because it'll be like maybe 20 or 25 minutes anyway, could probably like ease us in
Yeah.
to the new year, and it'll actually make my job easier. I wouldn't have to pull together all those outtakes.